Hey guys, welcome to another Ranked Cast. Today we're looking at two games played by oKhaliD. The first of these two is against Hyder, and these were played just less than a week ago, so we're still pretty recent. Let's see what oKhaliD is getting up to in the new season. Very nice fake challenge there to bait the pop by Hyder, who was boost starved. And oKhaliD already up by 1. Now I've got to just mention quickly, if it sounds like I've got a bit of a blocked nose, that's because I do. I decided last night to sleep with my window open because it was boiling in my room for some reason, and then I woke up with a blocked nose. Probably allergies, but not entirely sure what. But we're going to power on through anyway, just thought I'd mention because people usually ask. So oKhaliD and Hyder. Very interested to see these two match up at the start of the season, especially because oKhaliD has been experimenting with his offense recently. We're still seeing the ground game, the low 50-50s are a constant threat, the shots and the flicks more often these days as well are another thing that oKhaliD's been adding to his game. But the real interesting thing that we've all been watching oKhaliD develop in the past season is the aerial offense, and I'm really excited to see if that is continuing. I would be expecting that it will be making an appearance today, since this is early in the season. And Hyder is a player who oKhaliD, I think, has a pretty good record against. But shout out to Hyder, because the only reason we could watch this is because he has his ballchasing.com auto-upload on. So there is oKhaliD with a reset on the ceiling. Decides to play for the early shot, and the bar denies the goal. That's actually a really good play by oKhaliD. There's no point waiting just a bit longer and trying to snipe the goal, because you're just more likely to get challenged. And again, oKhaliD aiming very high here. Now he's got an open net, tries to take it in reverse with a half flip. It's accidentally pinched it off the inside of the post, and it's in fact been it results in a save. So bit random there, but oKhaliD still controlling the game very well. He's taking his chances to challenge very early, continually stealing boosts away, continually threatening shots, keeping Hyder, I should say, at bay. This very direct dribble down the middle, though, will give Hyder a chance to challenge him. But look at the boost management by oKhaliD. He's just taking everything away. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him take this one on spawn. He will indeed. And that's the key with boost starving in ones. You need to wait, actually, for that 10 seconds to go by. Had oKhaliD moved more quickly back across the box, then the boost wouldn't have actually been there to steal. So timing these attacks in those 10-second intervals is huge, and there is the goal. Eventually Hyder just runs dry and can't stop oKhaliD any longer, but brilliant boost starving by oKhaliD. Full control, and he threatened goals at multiple moments throughout that passage of play, so had it not been for Hyder's resilient defending, he may have just conceded earlier. Not the highest touch off the wall, so oKhaliD will have to just take a 50 on the landing. Hyder actually times that really well, though. Fakes a jump to back oKhaliD up into the net. oKhaliD faking the in and out save, actually draws the shot from Hyder straight towards him, but Hyder's pressuring the ball really well here, and that's a great snipe to the bottom corner. What Hyder did really well on this turn is that he never left the ball. He turned very tight close to it, so that oKhaliD would know that at any second, if he lunges in, Hyder can actually just play the ball away from him. So he had to delay his challenge. Hyder was still able to get the ball past him, even though oKhaliD decided to move in. Double reset for oKhaliD, unable to get back to the ball after the second one. Now these are plays that we're not used to seeing from oKhaliD in the past, and he's starting to get better and better at them. And you know, if he's able to be one of the absolute best ones players in the world with, I think, you know, not an absolutely top tier flick, not absolutely top tier aerial offense, and you know, no wave dash recovery kickoff, there are things that oKhaliD can add to his game even now. But without all that, he still is such a force to be reckoned with, and his ball pressure is just out of this world. He doesn't need a second invitation to put a challenge in. Mixing up the fake challenges with the mind games and the real challenges oh so well, disguising it all brilliantly. I think that was actually just a miss from Hyder, who did a pretty good job reading oKhaliD's fake off the wall, but just couldn't get back to it. So Hyder wins a kickoff, but will have to go through oKhaliD to get the goal, and he does! Recovers after a 50-50, stays airborne, and then reads the ceiling bounce effortlessly for his second goal. But even there, we see one of KhaliD's strengths is that he's very good at spotting opportunities that he can actually get to the ball, but Hyder's going to pull one more back, and the kickoffs are starting to go a bit more in his favor. By the way, not sure if anybody has also been getting this in replays, but these little white floaty, almost star-looking objects. There's another low 50 goes in, this time for KhaliD. The classic KhaliD goal. But yeah, what are these little glowing objects all over the place? Is this just something in replays? Is this an addition with the map? I'm not entirely sure, but I thought I'd better ask, because maybe someone in the chat can confirm that it's not just me who's seeing them. I'm not just seeing stars. KhaliD's actually left the shot uncontested, and Hyder places it perfectly. That's the second time that he has sniped the bottom corner, this time bottom left instead of bottom right. And another strong kickoff is going to get him within one goal. So Hyder really battling back here at the end of the game. Has to just stick in this, and he's done so bravely because KhaliD, for the first half of the game, completely controlled it. He hardly gave Hyder a shot on goal, never mind an actual goal. Oh my, KhaliD is out of position and ends up going down by another goal, and I rarely do this, but I'm going to rewind and watch this from KhaliD's POV, because what on earth happened here? Oh wow, he just predicted an air dribble from Hyder, who instead cut the ball in field and dribbled it underneath him. So Hyder actually making some great decisions here. He's reading KhaliD extremely well. But KhaliD still, when he can get control of the ball, just hasn't given it back. It's always, when we get in these positions, extremely difficult for Hyder to ever dispossess KhaliD. We'll see if he can do it in the final few seconds of the match here. Not going to happen. The placement from KhaliD too good. And he leads by 1 with 18 seconds to go. What a game. What a comeback by Hyder, but still, KhaliD, the player who's in front, and Hyder hasn't had an answer to KhaliD's possession. He needs to keep control of this. Chips it over him brilliantly. Oh, what a play by Hyder. He ties it again. That was exquisite. Just chipping it over the challenge and then slotting it into the open net. Are we headed to overtime? Pretty even kickoff. Hyder's going to be able to loop back around on this. KhaliD went for the 50-50. Attempting to squeeze that one on target. Wasn't meant to be, but he keeps it up on 0. Risky play by KhaliD. He doesn't have a lot of boost here, but I don't think Hyder had any real threats, so KhaliD decided to just keep going with it. No options to keep the ball in the air now, though, and it will be overtime. This is, of course, the only game that they might play, so who's going to take the rank points? A huge chance for Hyder to steal out what I imagine would have been the majority of them. I'm not entirely sure what their rank was at this moment, but KhaliD now muscles through another 50-50, makes a run to the wall. That's a very good touch, giving himself so much space and time to react. And the placement of the wave dash shot is absolutely pristine, and KhaliD will take the points. He'll take the game. Hyder didn't make an immediate challenge. Might wish that he did, because that was obviously going to be very difficult to save when KhaliD ends up in this position, but it's just such a good touch by KhaliD, isn't it? He didn't really put it in a position that was easy to dive in for. If you look again, I mean, where do you go here? We'll pause it here for Hyder. Where do you go? There's no way that he can make a ceiling challenge. There's no way that he can easily make an off-the-wall challenge, even challenging off the ground. KhaliD already has his flip, so it's not going to be easy. You know, he would much rather be in a position that he could attack this, but he just can't do it. The only thing that is, I think, a weakness for Hyder in this position, it's easy to see from KhaliD's perspective, is that he did go for the back wall position. I think right now, when KhaliD sees that, when he sees Hyder on the back wall, he's just thinking, well, I'm not going to shoot that at the net, because that's actually easier to save when you're on the back wall like this. Instead, what I'm going to do is just bring the ball all the way down low, because it's quite difficult to lunge across the net while also getting back down to the ground. That's what Hyder would have had to do to make a save here. So I don't think the back wall position is, or at least committing to it that early, was the right play. But Hyder didn't really have answers to dispossessing KhaliD whenever KhaliD got control of the ball. So that was really the problem throughout this. It wasn't just an isolated incident at the end of the game. That being said, brilliant fight by him, sticking in it till the very end, coming back multiple times and showing true grit and determination that you need if you're going to become one of the best ones players in the world. So that's game one. Let's get into the second one, see who KhaliD is up against in that one. Oh well, would you look at that? It's Louise, a player who has had success against oKhaliD in the past. We've got a video that I reviewed recently of a best of 3 played between these two, which Louise was able to win in a tournament. And I think the reason for that, and the reason for Louise's resurgence to the top of the one standings in Europe, is all about his defense. He's been called by myself and others who have drawn the similarity of mini Jorias, because Louise does attack very like Jorias, loves his flip resets, loves his aerial game. He just loves to go completely all in with huge mechanical plays. But it's his improved defense that's, I think, helped him to have a better matchup against players like oKhaliD, and a better matchup against pretty much everybody that I've seen him run into in recent time. Because that was always the weaker aspect of his game, but now he is far more well-rounded. He's got the aggression in the midfield, he's got the ball pressure to force plays out of his opponent in positions he might not want to make them, and then he's got the goal line defense, he's got the positioning to back it up. So let's see how he gets on in this one. oKhaliD up by 1 after putting the ball over an early challenge. Not the best first touch into the ceiling shot set up for oKhaliD, but he's of course going to adapt into a good 50-50 anyway. But Louise with a fantastic recovery stops oKhaliD from stealing all the boost away and starting to control the possession like we saw in the previous game. But Louise overextends. oKhaliD will go up 3-1, so a bit of a mistake there by Louise. Bit off a bit more than he could shoot. Of course, he wanted to take the boost away from the back corner, but in doing so, he did give oKhaliD a completely open net, so you can't be going that far out of position. And Louise not going to give oKhaliD a chance to control this possession play either. He is disrupting the gameplay of oKhaliD with a lot more success than Hyder did. However, he's not having a good time stopping him from scoring. Once again, Louise slightly out of position. oKhaliD immediately punishes him. He goes straight for the net and scores his 4th goal. Louise actually getting a bit of a flick on oKhaliD's car after that kickoff happened. Delayed reset on the ball and plays it wide into the corner for another boost steal. This is fantastic by Louise. That is absolutely brilliant, but the ball's not going to bounce nicely for him. What would have been such a good goal will have to just be chalked off at this point. But Louise, very unlucky not to get a goal with that last ceiling shot in the corner, and also very unlucky not to be able to establish boost dominance because of the way that the ball bounced out into the corner when he got another outplay. It's not been the best game for him so far, but oKhaliD has been clinical, and he puts himself up by 4 now as Louise found himself in an awkward position he just couldn't get out of in time. oKhaliD's got space, tight angle double, not going to make it work, and Louise slots in the crossfield shot. I like that oKhaliD's willing to do things like this though. I mean, obviously that's a low percentage shot. It's not a shot that he's scoring the majority of the time. Well, we didn't get to see it from his POV, but it looked very tight angle and quite fast paced, so extremely tough to put that in. And obviously when you've got full control of the ball and space to work with, you don't need to take those risks. So I'll put it in the low percentage category, but oKhaliD willing to take those chances just to get the warm-up, get the practice in. And you got to remember that's what ranked is. It's practice for these guys. They're trying to get better at various aspects of their game. We see oKhaliD incorporating more flicks and incorporating more aerials into his gameplay. We see Louise incorporating more of a defensive stance because those are the things that they most needed to work on. Oh, that's trickery from oKhaliD. 6-2 with a very late reset on the ball. Complete change of direction on the shot. Louise pre-jumped in the wrong direction. So now oKhaliD back to a 4-goal lead. Flip reset. And another goal to make it a 5. You can see that he's clearly getting a lot better at these and a lot more consistent with them. This is something that I've seen from oKhaliD since the very first time that I casted him. The very first show match that I casted for oKhaliD was a 2v2, I believe, against Canada, if I'm not mistaken, where oKhaliD and Ahmad were able to completely destroy Taroko and Grills. But 2 years plus ago, and they were both scoring flip reset shots in that, if I'm not mistaken. So they've been doing that for the longest time. The reason oKhaliD, I think, didn't really do that as much as other players in ones is because of the inherent risk involved. But as mechanics improve, as recoveries get faster, as players get more consistent with these, we're only going to see more and more of that from all of the top players, oKhaliD especially. What a shot that is, just lobbing in an 8th goal as Louise pre-jumps and doesn't make contact. Brutal performance from oKhaliD. Saw the angle Louise was coming in at and just sent the ball over the line of trajectory. Louise able to get the boost in the corner. That will give him another chance to establish possession control, but not for the first time this game. As he crosses the box to try and starve the boost to the other side, he ends up on the wrong side of it and has to leave it for oKhaliD. So a couple of mistakes there. Oh, now a big one. I mean, Louise is definitely he's definitely just having a bit of fun with the end of this game, trying to flick on an open net. Probably acknowledging that this game has gone past him, as oKhaliD isn't one of those players that you can really hope to get a 6-goal comeback against. Although, you know, that being said, oKhaliD has himself made 5- and 6-goal comebacks in time frames similar to 1 minute. So if we were in a tournament, I'm sure Louise would have tried to make that happen. Not worth it in rank. They're going to play it out anyway. I'm sure Louise would want to get another go at this matchup, and I'm sure he's ready to just go next, go queue one more time. But they didn't, in fact, queue into each other again after this. I don't know who they matched up with or if they continued to play, but Louise does get a consolation goal with a double from distance and decides that'll do. He's got his goal. Let's just call it there. GG. And, well, ended up being good night. But great games there from oKhaliD at the start of the season. Still incorporating those new aspects of the game. I'm still waiting on the wave dash recovery kickoff to make an appearance for him. I think that would really round out his kickoff game because it's already so good as is. And as for Louise, you know, this wasn't the best game positionally for him, overextended a lot, but we've seen him have success against oKhaliD recently, so you don't want to just make a judgment entirely off one game. I'm sure that if they match up against each other in a show match or a tournament, it'll be a banger of a series. But that's all we got time for today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the little look into what oKhaliD and and Hyder and Louise are getting up to at the start of this season. And yeah, as always, just let me know in the comments if there's other players you want me to take a look at. I'll see if I can find games from them, and we can see in other game modes as well, not just 1s, 2s, 3s, whatever you guys want to see. We'll see who's looking dominant at the start of the new season as we get ready for the biggest RLCS season of all time. But yeah, thanks again for watching, guys. Take care. Have a good rest of your day, night, wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one.